The night was supposed to be quiet, uneventful, just another late evening in the glitzy world of reality television. But what unfolded behind the cameras would leave fans utterly speechless and the production team scrambling for answers. Masika, known for her fearless personality and no-holds-barred honesty, had recently been experimenting with a personal mic setup, meant to capture candid moments for a new segment. What no one anticipated, however, was that this tiny device would pick up something entirely shocking, something that Michelle, the queen of raw emotion and unfiltered truth, hadn't intended anyone to hear. It started as a typical night. The lights were dim, the cameras were rolling, and the cast had retreated to their private quarters after a long day of filming. Conversations were supposed to be casual, laughter punctuating the evening, but the air was thick with tension. Masika, always the curious one, had left her mic running while she went to grab a drink. In that moment of solitude, Michelle, unaware of the mic's presence, began speaking. Her voice trembled slightly, a mixture of frustration, sorrow, and something else, something she clearly hadn't meant to share publicly. Fans who have followed Michelle for years know her as a powerhouse. Someone who wears her heart on her sleeve but also guards her deepest vulnerabilities fiercely. So when the mic captured her late-night confession, the words were explosive, utterly revealing, and deeply personal. Masika, stumbling upon this revelation, immediately sensed the gravity of what had just happened. She froze, heart pounding, realizing that she held in her hands, or rather, in her recording device, a confession that could change everything: relationships, alliances, and the very dynamics of the cast. The confession itself was a bombshell. Michelle's voice carried an intensity that no one could ignore, touching on betrayals, secret feuds, and hidden truths that had simmered for months behind closed doors. It was the kind of revelation that fans live for, the kind of moment that sets social media on fire, and the kind of scene producers dread because it exposes vulnerabilities they can't control. As Masika listened, emotions ran high, not just hers, but the echoes of Michelle's raw honesty that seemed to reverberate through the entire set. Word of the recording spread like wildfire. Even before the production team could intervene, whispers of the secret mic reached other cast members. Questions arose. What exactly had Michelle confessed? Who would be affected the most? And most importantly, would the family be left divided? Or could this shocking revelation somehow lead to a reckoning? A confrontation that fans had been waiting for but never imagined would come so soon. By the time producers realized what had happened, chaos had already begun to unfold. Tensions flared, alliances wavered, and the usual backstage camaraderie crumbled under the weight of secrets finally spoken aloud. Fans are shocked, social media is buzzing, and the drama that was meant to stay behind the camera is now front and center, threatening to redefine everything viewers thought they knew about these stars. This is not just another reality TV moment, it's a late-night confession that has the potential to alter relationships, stir emotions, and set the stage for the most explosive episodes yet. Stay tuned, because what happened that night is only the beginning. What Michelle revealed, what Masika captured, and how the rest of the cast reacts will leave everyone questioning loyalties, judging motives, and wondering just how deep the secrets really go. Emotions ran high, alliances are on the brink, and fans around the world are holding their breath, waiting for the fallout. The stage is set for a series of confrontations, betrayals, and shocking revelations that will be remembered for seasons to come. Fans are already divided, theories are spreading, and one thing is certain: this secret mic has changed everything. The question now is simple: who will survive the fallout, and who will be exposed for the first time in front of millions of viewers? The drama has begun, and it is unstoppable. The night had started with the usual energy of the cast, laughter echoing through the halls and the faint hum of cameras capturing every moment. Masika, always alert and slightly mischievous, had slipped her personal mic on before heading to the kitchen, unaware that tonight would be unlike any other. Michelle, exhausted from a day filled with arguments, confessions, and unpredictable confrontations, had retreated to her private lounge. She thought she was alone, her guard lowered, her emotions unfiltered. As she settled into the plush chair, she began speaking softly, almost to herself, the weight of weeks of bottled-up frustrations spilling out in a torrent of words that would soon shake the entire production to its core. "I can't keep pretending anymore, Michelle whispered, her voice trembling. A mix of anger, sadness, and exhaustion. "They think they know me, but they have no idea what it's like behind these cameras, behind these smiles, behind all the so-called alliances." Her words were punctuated by a deep sigh, a pause that made the air feel heavier. charged with tension that no one present could see but would soon feel. Masika, who had been pouring herself a drink, froze mid. The mic had been left on, recording every syllable. She glanced around, heart racing, realizing she had stumbled upon something monumental, something that could ignite chaos, betrayal, and tears among everyone involved. Michelle continued, revealing secrets that cut deep, secrets that fans had only speculated about but had never truly known. She spoke of betrayals she had endured from those she considered family, of friends who turned on her at the slightest hint of vulnerability, and of alliances that were more about strategy than loyalty. I trusted him, I trusted her, and every time I let my guard down, I got stabbed in the back, she admitted, her voice cracking. Masika's eyes widened. She knew she had captured something explosive, a confession that would ripple through the cast and fanbase like a storm. The first reaction came when another cast member, hearing the muffled recording, confronted Masika. What did she just say? The question was laced with curiosity and disbelief. Masika, trying to remain calm, didn't respond immediately. Instead, letting the tension build, knowing the storm had only just begun. Michelle, still unaware of the mic, continued to pour her heart out. She spoke about private conflicts, romantic entanglements, hidden grudges, and the subtle manipulations that often went unnoticed by viewers but were all too real behind the scenes. Each revelation was sharper than the last, each word more cutting, more personal, and more dangerous if heard by the wrong ears. As the night progressed, the cast gathered in small clusters, sensing an undercurrent of unease. Someone mentioned a strange tension in the air, and whispers began circulating about a possible leak, a recording that could change everything. Masika, ever careful but emboldened by the discovery, decided to stay silent, letting the suspense build naturally. The drama had a life of its own, feeding on curiosity, jealousy, and fear. It wasn't long before the first confrontation erupted. Michelle, still unaware that her confession had been caught on the mic, received a casual remark about trust, and the words struck like lightning. "Why would you say that about me?" one cast member demanded, voice sharp, eyes narrowing. Michelle looked confused, defensive. I didn't say anything, she stammered, but the tension had already ignited. Emotions ran high as accusations flew, each one layered with the hidden truths that Michelle had just revealed, unbeknownst to anyone but Masika. The night became a whirlwind of confrontations, whispered alliances, and frantic speculation. Masika watched from the sidelines, the mic still recording, capturing the heightened emotions, the shocking reactions, and the raw, unfiltered truth of each cast member's personality. Fans, if they could see the footage, would be shocked. The family was divided, old grudges resurfaced, and friendships that had seemed unshakable were now teetering on the edge of collapse. Michelle, sensing the tension but still unaware of the mic, tried to calm the room, but her words did little to ease the storm. "We need to be honest with each other," she said, voice pleading. But the confessions she had unknowingly recorded had already cast a shadow too large to ignore. The following hours were marked by intense dialogues, some shouted, some whispered, but all filled with emotion. Masika moved quietly among the cast, letting the drama unfold, occasionally giving a knowing glance, her mind racing with possibilities. The camera crews, sensing the tension, began capturing the heightened drama, unaware that the most explosive moments were already safely stored on Masika's mic. Every revelation, every tear, every shouted accusation was now ready to shock audiences when released. Michelle, finally retreating to her private room to collect herself, spoke to no one in particular, her words raw and unfiltered. "I can't believe they think I'd betray them. After everything I've done," she murmured. Masika from a distance, held the mic closer, her own heart pounding. The confession revealed far more than just personal grievances. It exposed strategic manipulations, hidden tensions, and secret rivalries that had been simmering just below the surface. Every cast member had a stake. Every reaction was a thread in a web of drama that was about to unravel spectacularly. As the night wore on, alliances began to shift. Some cast members who had been close friends suddenly found themselves on opposite sides, their whispers now tinged with suspicion and resentment. Masika's mic continued to capture every subtle nuance, every hesitation, every burst of emotion that might have gone unnoticed by the cameras. Michelle, exhausted but still driven by her need for honesty, confronted a few of the cast members directly. "You know what you did," she said sharply, her eyes flashing. The room went silent, the weight of unspoken truths pressing down on everyone. Emotions ran high, tempers flared, and fans, if watching, would have been on the edge of their seats. By the early hours of the morning, the atmosphere had transformed from casual evening chatter into a battlefield of words, accusations, and confessions. Masika, aware of the power of what she held, stayed strategically silent, letting Michelle's words resonate through the room, influencing reactions, igniting old grudges, and forcing each cast member to confront their own hidden agendas. The drama was relentless, intense, and utterly captivating. Every whispered secret, every tearful admission, every shouted accusation had the potential to redefine relationships, both on-screen and off-K. Michelle's voice, captured in moments of vulnerability and anger, revealed layers of complexity that fans had never seen. She spoke of sacrifices made for loyalty, friendships tested to the breaking point, and moments when she had been betrayed by those she trusted most. "I gave everything I had, and still, it wasn't enough," she confessed, the words cutting through the tension like a knife. Masika, listening intently, realized that this was more than just drama. This was a turning point, a moment that could alter the narrative of the show forever. As dawn approached, the room was heavy with exhaustion, tension, and unresolved conflict. Cast members retreated to their corners, whispers still echoing through the halls, while Masika's mic quietly stored every intimate confession, every explosive revelation, every emotional outburst. The night had been a masterclass in drama, betrayal, and emotional intensity, and what had been captured would soon take the entertainment world by storm. The stage was set, the players were in position, and the story that began with a secret mic had only just begun to unfold. The following day, the production team began piecing together the events of the night. They were shocked, horrified, and exhilarated all at once. The footage Masika had recorded was beyond anything they had anticipated. Emotions ran high as they debated how to handle the material, aware that the revelations could make or break the season. Cast members, still raw from the night's confrontations, began speculating about what had been captured, their paranoia and curiosity blending into a combustible mix that promised more conflict, more drama, and more explosive moments in the episodes to come. By midday, the whispers had already reached fans online. Social media buzzed with speculation, theories, and leaks that hinted at the explosive events of the previous night. Hashtags began trending, discussions erupted, and everyone wanted answers. What exactly had Michelle confessed? Who would be hurt the most? And how would the family of cast members navigate the emotional minefield that had been unleashed? Masika, always aware of her power in this scenario, stayed quiet, letting the anticipation and suspense build naturally, knowing that the fallout would be unforgettable. Michelle, finally aware that something was amiss, confronted Masika gently, suspicion lacing her words. "Did you hear me last night?" she asked, eyes searching. Masika, feigning innocence, nodded slightly, her mind calculating the ripple effects of her silence. Michelle's heart raced. The vulnerability she had displayed, now mingling with fear, confusion, and a dawning realization that her words were not as private as she had thought. The tension between them was palpable, electric, a charged moment that could explode at any second, threatening to reveal every secret, every betrayal, every hidden truth that had been whispered in the dark hours of the night. The stage was now perfectly set. Cast members moved cautiously, alliances wavered, and every interaction was tinged with suspicion and anticipation. Masika's secret mic had captured more than just words, it had captured the essence of conflict, emotion, and unfiltered truth that would ripple through the show for weeks, months, and possibly seasons. The energy was contagious, the suspense unbearable, and the drama unreal. Fans, if they could witness it, would be on the edge of their seats, eyes glued to every twist, turn, and confession that the cast now navigated, unaware that the most shocking moments had already been immortalized. The night's revelations had set off a chain reaction. Trust was fractured, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. Conversations that should have been casual were now loaded with tension, suspicion, and the unspoken knowledge that Michelle's words had changed everything. Masika, holding the mic close, understood the magnitude of what she had captured. Every argument, every tear, every confession was now part of a narrative that could not be ignored, shaping the season in ways no one could have predicted. The hours that followed were filled with confrontations that escalated quickly. Cast members questioned loyalties, alliances shifted, and the air was thick with unspoken accusations. Michelle, exhausted yet emboldened by her desire for honesty, engaged in heated exchanges, her voice carrying the intensity of a storm that had been brewing for weeks. Masika, strategically silent, recorded it all, every word, every pause, every emotional crack in the veneer that the cast tried so hard to maintain. As night turned to early morning again, the room was a powder keg of emotions. Secrets had been exposed, confessions had been revealed, and relationships were being tested like never before. Masika's mic had captured a reality so raw, so explosive, that the consequences would be felt long after the cameras stopped rolling. Fans, producers, and cast members alike were now entangled in a web of drama that had no clear resolution, only escalating tension and anticipation. By the end of this night, Michelle's late-night confession had shifted the dynamics of the cast entirely. Trust had been broken, hidden rivalries surfaced, and the family was left divided, uncertain of who could be trusted. Masika's mic, silent yet powerful, had become the key to the unfolding storm. A secret weapon that could ignite further chaos at any moment. The drama had reached its peak, and what started as a quiet evening had transformed into a night of confessions, confrontations, and explosive revelations that would define the season and leave fans craving more. The tension did not dissipate with dawn. If anything, it intensified. Cast members spoke in hushed tones, glances were loaded with suspicion, and the unspoken knowledge of Michelle's words hung heavy in the air. Masika, aware of her pivotal role, moved cautiously, letting the suspense build naturally while every interaction became a calculated move in the invisible game of strategy and survival. The night had changed everything, and the story that began with a secret mic was far from over. The morning after the explosive night began with an eerie calm. The cast gathered for breakfast, but the usual chatter was replaced with cautious glances, whispered conversations, and an undercurrent of suspicion that no one could ignore. Masika, ever observant, sipped her coffee slowly, her mind replaying every word Michelle had confessed, every crack in the facade she had exposed, and every reaction she had captured on her mic. She knew that the balance of power had shifted, that trust was fragile, and that every move from this point forward would be scrutinized, questioned, and possibly exploited. Michelle appeared weary but determined, her eyes scanning the room with a mixture of apprehension and resolve. She had realized by now that something had been recorded, that her late-night confessions had not remained private, and that the dynamics within the cast were poised to shift dramatically. She tried to carry herself with confidence, yet the tension was palpable, and every interaction seemed loaded with unspoken accusations and hidden motives. Her voice, usually commanding and assertive, carried a subtle edge of vulnerability as she addressed the group. "I just want to clear the air," she said, her words precise yet deliberate. "I don't want misunderstandings, and I don't want secrets causing unnecessary drama." But the room was already charged. Whispers flitted from one group to another, eyes darted suspiciously, and every word from Michelle was dissected, interpreted, and sometimes twisted to fit personal agendas. The ripple effect of her secret confession was visible in every glance, every pause, and every side conversation. Alliances began to shift subtly, loyalties tested with a casual comment, a knowing smirk, or a pointed look. Masika, always the silent observer, knew the night had changed everything, and the tension was only growing. The first confrontation came unexpectedly. One cast member, still reeling from what they had heard indirectly through the night's chaos, approached Michelle with a challenging tone. "So, are you really saying all that stuff about me?" they demanded, eyes flashing. Michelle's expression hardened, a mix of defensiveness and controlled anger. "I'm not saying it to start fights," she replied, her voice steady but firm. "I'm saying it because the truth matters, and pretending otherwise doesn't help anyone." The exchange drew attention, and suddenly, the breakfast area felt like a courtroom. Emotions ran high, accusations hovered in the air, and Masika, unseen, captured every nuanced reaction on her mic. As the day progressed, tension escalated into heated arguments. Conversations that began casually became battlegrounds of emotion, as cast members brought up past grievances, betrayals, and perceived slights. Michelle, emboldened by the need to speak her truth, confronted long-hidden issues with precision. "You think you can manipulate everyone behind their backs," she said sharply to one of the cast, "but the truth always comes out eventually." The words landed like a punch, and the room erupted in defensive counterattacks. Cries of indignation, and tears from those whose secrets were suddenly exposed. Masika, recording silently, understood that these moments would define the season, create unmissable television, and captivate fans hungry for scandal and raw emotion. In the afternoon, private conversations emerged, each one filled with speculation, suspicion, and strategy. Cast members whispered about what Michelle had confessed, trying to piece together fragments of truth while protecting their own interests. One whispered, If what she said is true, everything changes. Everything. Another countered. We can't let her know we're onto her, or it will get worse. The room became a chessboard of emotions, alliances, and subtle manipulation. Every move and word contributing to the growing storm. Masika's mic remained the silent observer, recording every strategic pause, every loaded glance, and every unspoken tension. Michelle, still processing the aftermath of her confession being inadvertently revealed, retreated momentarily to collect herself. She spoke softly, almost to herself, her voice carrying a mix of frustration, reflection, and determination. I can't keep hiding. I can't keep pretending that loyalty means nothing, she murmured. People will see the truth eventually, even if it hurts. Masika, lurking nearby, felt a pang of excitement and apprehension. This was gold. The kind of authentic, unfiltered emotion that drove reality television to viral heights. The evening brought another confrontation, more intense than any before. Cast members confronted each other with harsh truths, secrets, and accusations that had been festering for weeks. Michelle's words, captured by the secret mic, loomed over every interaction, a ghostly presence influencing decisions, reactions, and emotional displays. Fans would have been shocked by the raw intensity, the volatility, and the courage required to speak these truths aloud. Masika, watching every exchange, knew that the footage was priceless. A record of chaos, revelation, and human vulnerability that would set the stage for explosive episodes. As night fell, the energy shifted yet again. Conversations turned into heated debates, and heated debates escalated into full-blown arguments. Cast members accused each other of disloyalty, manipulation, and dishonesty. Michelle, her emotions on edge, stood her ground, refusing to let fear or retaliation silence her. We all have our skeletons, she said, voice echoing through the room. But the ones we hide in the dark always find a way to surface. The intensity of the night made every cast member confront their own actions, motives, and relationships in ways they hadn't anticipated. Masika's mic continued to capture the full spectrum of emotion: tears, laughter, accusations, defensive retorts, and whispered alliances. Each revelation, each emotional outburst, added layers of drama, tension, and unpredictability. The dynamics among the cast were shifting rapidly. Friendships strained under the weight of betrayal, romances faltered in the face of truth, and even long-standing rivalries gained new fuel. The energy was magnetic, a storm of raw emotion that threatened to consume everyone present. By the early morning hours, the cast was exhausted, physically and emotionally drained. Yet the tension remained thick in the air. Michelle, still processing the consequences of her late-night confessions, reflected on the unanticipated impact of her words. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she whispered to herself, but maybe this is what had to happen. The room, though quiet momentarily, was still charged with energy, as if every unspoken thought, every hidden grievance, and every secret rivalry had been amplified by her inadvertent disclosure. Fans, if privy to these events, would have been on the edge of their seats, absorbing every detail, every emotional crack, and every burst of confrontation. The drama was no longer hypothetical. It was real, palpable, and impossible to ignore. Masika's secret mic had become the linchpin of the season's most explosive moments. A silent witness to the unraveling of relationships, the exposing of vulnerabilities, and the escalation of conflict that would captivate audiences for weeks to come. As the sun rose, signaling the start of a new day, cast members regrouped, wary yet restless. Trust was fractured, loyalties questioned, and every interaction carried the weight of suspicion and anticipation. Masika, holding the mic, knew the night had changed everything. Michelle's confession had shifted the balance of power, altered alliances, and left everyone vulnerable in ways they had not expected. The storm was far from over, and the stage was set for even more intense confrontations, shocking revelations, and emotionally charged drama that would define the narrative of the show moving forward. The tension continued to build over the following hours, conversations turning into strategic debates, whispered rumors, and pointed questions. Cast members were forced to navigate a labyrinth of emotion, truth, and suspicion, each trying to protect themselves while decoding the secrets that Michelle's words had revealed. Every glance, every pause, every casual remark became loaded with significance. As the unfiltered confessions from the previous night echoed through the room, Masika, ever observant, recorded every critical moment, knowing that the power of these recordings lay not just in the words themselves but in the reactions they provoked. By midday, the cast had split into factions, loyalties forming and dissolving as conversations revealed more about personal motives and hidden agendas. Some members gravitated toward K. Michelle, seeing her vulnerability as an opportunity to align themselves strategically, while others viewed her openness as a threat. An invitation to manipulate and expose further secrets. The emotional energy was palpable, creating a climate where every interaction could trigger a confrontation. Every word could escalate into drama, and every subtle gesture was scrutinized for hidden meaning. The rest of the day unfolded like a meticulously orchestrated drama. Arguments erupted over past grievances, misunderstandings from prior episodes, and the revelations from K. Michelle's confession. Tears were shed, voices raised, and tempers flared, each moment escalating the stakes. Masika's mic captured the chaos, preserving the emotional intensity and unpredictability that would later define the season as a must-watch spectacle. Every exchange revealed new layers of tension, betrayal, and unspoken rivalry, creating a complex web of interpersonal drama that no viewer could ignore. As evening approached, a critical turning point occurred. K. Michelle confronted a group of cast members in a private room, her voice firm and unwavering. "We can't keep pretending everything is fine," she said, eyes blazing. "The secrets, the lies, the manipulation, it all has to stop, or we'll keep repeating this cycle forever." The cast members responded defensively, each trying to justify past actions, deflect blame, or shift the focus. The confrontation was intense, emotions ran high, and the room seemed to vibrate with the tension of suppressed grievances finally coming to light. Masika, ever the silent observer, recorded it all. The nuances of voice, the subtle gestures, the flashes of anger and vulnerability, every detail was captured, creating an intricate tapestry of drama that would keep audiences riveted. Fans would be shocked by the intensity, captivated by the emotional depth, and unable to look away from the unfolding chaos. The night's events were a culmination of hidden truths, raw emotion, and strategic maneuvering, all triggered by K. Michelle's unintended confession caught on Masika's secret mic. As the hours wore on, the room's atmosphere shifted between explosive arguments and moments of uneasy calm. Cast members navigated a landscape of suspicion, tension, and calculated moves, each aware that K. Michelle's words had altered the balance of power. Loyalties were tested, relationships strained, and the emotional stakes higher than ever before. Masika, still recording, understood the magnitude of what had been captured, the culmination of months of tension, drama, and hidden conflicts now fully exposed. By the end of part 2 of this night, the cast had experienced confrontations, emotional reckonings, and the first cracks in long-standing alliances. K. Michelle's late-night confessions had set off a chain reaction of drama, and the power dynamics had shifted irreversibly. Masika's secret mic, silent but potent, had captured every critical moment, ensuring that the explosive truth would resonate for the rest of the season, leaving fans and cast members alike in suspense, anticipation, and awe at the raw, unfiltered reality that had been revealed. The day after the initial confrontations began with a tense energy that seemed to hang over every interaction. Cast members moved carefully, measuring their words, watching each other for signs of weakness, betrayal, or hidden agendas. The events of the previous night had fundamentally altered the atmosphere. Alliances had shifted, trust was fractured, and K. Michelle's late-night confessions, caught on Masika's secret mic, loomed over every conversation. It was clear to everyone that nothing would ever be the same. K. Michelle, still grappling with the consequences of her unintentional reveal, tried to maintain composure. She knew her words had set off a chain reaction, but she also understood that honesty, even when dangerous, could be a tool for change. "We need to face the truth, no matter how painful," she said quietly to a close ally, her voice trembling slightly but carrying determination. "Denial won't protect anyone anymore." The ally nodded, eyes wide with both fear and respect, recognizing that this confrontation with reality was inevitable. As the day unfolded, Masika moved strategically through the cast, her mic capturing every subtle nuance. Whispers in corners, furtive glances, and hushed speculation revealed just how deeply K. Michelle's confession had shaken everyone. "Did she really say that about me?" One cast member murmured under their breath, a mix of disbelief and indignation in their tone. Another whispered back, "I don't know, but if it's true, it changes everything." Every exchange was loaded, every word carrying more weight than usual, and Masika's mic recorded the drama with unerring clarity. By mid-morning, a confrontation was brewing in the main lounge. One cast member, clearly agitated, demanded answers from Kay. "Michelle, why didn't you tell us this before?" they shouted, voice sharp and accusing. Kay, Michelle, taken aback but not intimidated, met their gaze. "I never intended for it to be a secret weapon," she said, her tone firm. "I was sharing my truth. If that threatens you, maybe that's a problem we need to address." The room went silent for a moment, the weight of her words settling in. Emotions ran high, eyebrows furrowed, and even those not directly involved felt the tension suffocating the air. The confrontation escalated quickly. Other cast members jumped in, each with their own grievances, accusations, and defenses. What had started as a single question turned into a full-blown debate, voices overlapping, tempers flaring, and emotions exploding like fireworks. Masika, ever the observer, allowed the chaos to unfold naturally, her mic capturing every piercing word, every gasp, and every tearful admission. This was the kind of drama that could define a season, the raw intensity that fans lived for, and the type of conflict that producers both feared and craved. Amidst the shouting and accusations, Michelle revealed more about her personal struggles and betrayals she had endured over time. "I trusted you," she said, pointing at one cast member, "and you used that trust to manipulate situations behind my back. Do you think I don't see it? I see it, and it hurts more than you know." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap, the family of cast members momentarily frozen by the weight of her honesty. Fans watching would have been shocked, unable to turn away from the intensity of the raw, human emotion laid bare. In the heat of the confrontation, secrets previously unknown came to light. Romantic entanglements, financial betrayals, and strategic manipulations were exposed, each revelation sparking a new wave of outrage. "So that's why you've been acting so close to her," one cast member accused another, pointing sharply. Michelle remained calm in the storm, her eyes steady, her voice unwavering. "I am not here to attack anyone," she said. "I am here to speak the truth, and it's high time we all confront it." The room felt like a battlefield, and every word felt like a weapon. As the day moved into afternoon, cast members splintered into factions, each group strategizing about how to navigate the fallout from Michelle's confession. Whispers of alliances, betrayals, and hidden motives filled the air. Some sought to align themselves with Michelle, recognizing her courage and the potential power of her honesty, while others plotted ways to exploit the chaos to their advantage. The atmosphere was charged, volatile, and unpredictable, and Masika's mic captured every nuance with precision. Tensions escalated further when an unexpected revelation came from a quiet member of the cast, someone who had previously stayed in the background. "I know things you don't," they said, voice low but menacing, "and I've been keeping quiet. Until now." The words sent shockwaves through the room. Cast members froze, their minds racing with possibilities, their emotions a mix of fear, curiosity, and suspicion. Michelle's confession had opened the floodgates, and now others were stepping forward, adding fuel to the already blazing fire. Masika moved cautiously, capturing private conversations and reactions, understanding the gravity of the moment. She overheard murmurs of revenge plots, tearful reconciliations, and whispered apologies, each laden with tension and emotional weight. Fans would have been riveted, watching the intricate web of relationships unravel and reconstruct in real time. The energy was electric, a perfect storm of emotion, strategy, and unpredictable drama. As evening fell, Michelle attempted to mediate a fragile truce, gathering the cast to address the mounting tension. "We can't go on like this," she said, voice steady but imploring. "If we continue with secrets, accusations, and mistrust, we'll destroy everything we've built. We have to be honest, even if it hurts." Her words, sincere and commanding, momentarily softened the atmosphere. Cast members exchanged uneasy glances, some nodding, others skeptical, but the impact of her plea was undeniable. The room was still tense, yet for a moment, the possibility of resolution hung in the air. However, the fragile calm was shattered when a recording from Masika's secret mic was inadvertently played to the group. A snippet of Michelle's confession, particularly sensitive and shocking, resonated through the room, reigniting old conflicts and sparking new ones. "How could you say that about me?" one cast member demanded, voice trembling with fury. Michelle, startled and defensive, replied, "I didn't say it to hurt anyone. I said it to be honest." The clash of raw emotion, misunderstanding, and vulnerability turned the lounge into a whirlwind of yelling, tears, and accusations. Fans would have been glued to every moment, watching the intensity unfold like a high-stakes thriller. The night's chaos, now amplified by the accidental playback, revealed layers of hidden truths, manipulation, and emotional fragility. Cast members confronted their fears, insecurities, and grudges, each interaction loaded with stakes higher than ever before. Masika's mic continued to record, silently documenting the crescendo of human drama in ways no camera had captured before. As midnight approached, the energy shifted yet again. The cast, emotionally exhausted, sought moments of reprieve, but even in solitude, tension lingered. Conversations turned quiet, yet every glance and every whispered word carried weight. Evidence of the lasting impact of K. Michelle's confession. Alliances were fragile, relationships strained, and trust remained a precious commodity, difficult to earn and easy to lose. The night's events had irrevocably changed the landscape, leaving everyone on edge, emotionally raw, and wary of what would come next. In the quiet hours, K. Michelle reflected on the day's turmoil. "I never imagined this would be so intense," she whispered to herself, voice low but resolute. "But maybe it was necessary. Maybe the truth always comes out eventually, whether we like it or not." Masika, listening from a distance, understood that the power of the mic went beyond capturing words. It was capturing the very essence of human emotion, conflict, and revelation that would define the season for fans, producers, and cast alike. As dawn approached, the aftermath of the day's confrontations was evident. Cast members moved cautiously, lingering tensions visible in every interaction. The family was divided, some seeking solace in each other, others strategizing in quiet corners. The events triggered by K. Michelle's late-night confession had set off a chain reaction of drama, vulnerability, and raw emotion, leaving no relationship untouched and no alliance untested. Masika's secret mic had not only captured the confession, it had immortalized a pivotal moment of chaos, courage, and revelation that would dominate conversations both on and off camera. The energy carried into the following day, as cast members navigated the complex web of emotions, secrets, and strategic maneuvering. Friendships were questioned, romances strained, and rivalries intensified, all under the lingering shadow of K. Michelle's truth. Masika, mindful of the explosive potential of her recording, moved with calculated precision, capturing every revealing glance, whispered conversation, and emotional outburst. Fans would be enthralled, captivated by the intricate drama unfolding with a raw authenticity that few reality shows manage to achieve. By late afternoon, a pivotal confrontation took place, igniting new levels of tension. Cast members, armed with information from the secret mic, challenged each other directly. Accusations flew, defenses rose, and emotions surged to their peak. K. Michelle, standing firm, spoke with both authority and vulnerability. "I am not here to play games," she said, eyes blazing. "I am here to be honest, and if the truth hurts, then so be it. Hiding it only makes the damage worse." The room vibrated with intensity, each word a spark threatening to ignite further chaos. Masika, always aware of the power she held, ensured that every critical moment, every charged word, and every subtle gesture was captured. The drama was multifaceted, emotional, strategic, and deeply personal. Every cast member was now playing a high-stakes game, navigating betrayal, loyalty, and the unpredictable consequences of K. Michelle's confession. Fans, glued to their screens, would feel the tension, the vulnerability, and the explosive energy that defined the unfolding narrative. As night fell once more, the cast, emotionally drained yet unable to escape the web of conflict, gathered for a tense debrief. Conversations were careful, every word weighed, every glance scrutinized. The secret mic had not only revealed K. Michelle's vulnerability but had exposed the hidden fractures in every relationship, challenging each cast member to confront truths they had long avoided. The atmosphere was thick with suspense, anticipation, and the knowledge that the season had entered uncharted territory. The morning light filtered through the blinds, casting long shadows across the cast house, yet the tension from the previous night lingered like a heavy fog. Everyone moved cautiously, aware that K. Michelle's confessions, now widely known, had shifted the power dynamics in ways they were only beginning to understand. Masika, ever vigilant, positioned herself strategically, her secret mic capturing every whisper, every guarded glance, and every subtle shift in tone that could reveal hidden motives. K. Michelle, still reeling from the intensity of yesterday's confrontations, sought to regain some sense of control. She knew that her words had sparked chaos, but she also understood that honesty, even when uncomfortable, had a strange power. We have to stop pretending everything is okay, she murmured to a close confidant. This tension, this secrecy, it's tearing us apart. We need clarity before it destroys us completely. Her companion nodded, eyes wide with both fear and admiration, recognizing the courage it took to confront the truth in such a volatile environment. As breakfast commenced, conversations were tentative, eyes flicking nervously across the table. One cast member leaned over and whispered, "Did you really hear what she said last night?" Another replied, "Yeah, it changes everything. You can't just ignore it." The subtle undercurrent of suspicion was palpable, and Masika's mic captured each word with precise clarity, documenting the intricate interplay of curiosity, fear, and strategic calculation. Every murmured sentence, every hesitant gesture, was a thread in the growing tapestry of drama. Mid-morning brought an unexpected alliance. Two cast members, previously at odds, approached K. Michelle with cautious expressions. "Look, we don't agree with everything you said," one began, "but maybe this is a chance to reset, to fix some things before it gets worse." K. Michelle's expression softened slightly, appreciative but still guarded. "I'm willing to try," she said quietly, "but it has to be honest. No more hiding, no more lies." The dialogue, though subtle, carried immense weight, a potential pivot point amid the ongoing storm of emotion. But calm was fleeting. A heated argument erupted near the pool, drawing the attention of the entire cast. Accusations, raised voices, and visible frustration painted a chaotic scene. K. Michelle, caught in the middle, defended her perspective with a balance of assertiveness and vulnerability. "I'm not trying to hurt anyone," she insisted. "I'm trying to be honest. If that upsets you, it's because you've been avoiding your own truth." Masika, recording discreetly, understood that this confrontation would be a pivotal moment in the season, showcasing both raw emotion and strategic maneuvering. The afternoon intensified with private confrontations and whispered strategies. Cast members circulated in small groups, dissecting the implications of K. Michelle's confessions, trying to anticipate reactions, and plotting moves to protect or elevate their own standing. "We have to watch her," one whispered. "She's honest now, but that honesty is dangerous. It could ruin everything if we're not careful." Another countered, "But maybe it's a chance to clear the air and reset alliances. We just need to be smart about it." The room was a battlefield of emotion and calculation, each participant navigating a minefield of vulnerability and manipulation. Unexpected revelations continued to emerge. K. Michelle's candid disclosures inspired others to speak up, revealing secrets and grievances that had long been buried. Some cast members cried openly, others lashed out in anger, and a few attempted to mediate, though their efforts often went unheeded. Masika's mic captured the full spectrum of human emotion, from tears to rage, from whispered apologies to strategic threats, creating a record of intensity and drama that few viewers could resist. As evening approached, the cast gathered for a formal discussion, ostensibly to address the mounting tensions. The atmosphere was charged, every word carefully chosen, every expression scrutinized. K. Michelle took the floor, her voice steady despite the storm swirling around her. "We can't keep running from the truth," she said. "It's here, it's real, and it's affecting every one of us. We have to confront it, or we'll keep repeating the same cycles of conflict." The impact of her words was immediate. Murmurs spread through the room, and even the most skeptical members could not deny the weight of her conviction. However, the peace was short-lived. A cast member, feeling exposed and threatened, lashed out with a verbal tirade that escalated into a near-physical confrontation. K. Michelle, though challenged, stood her ground, refusing to be intimidated. "You can yell, you can threaten, but the truth doesn't change because of your anger," she said firmly. The intensity of the moment heightened the suspense. Emotions ran high, and Masika's mic captured every shouted word, every sharp intake of breath, and every subtle movement that conveyed fear or defiance. Late into the night, tensions remained palpable. Cast members retreated to corners, whispering, strategizing, and processing the day's revelations. K. Michelle, exhausted but resolute, reflected on the chain reaction her confession had set in motion. "I didn't anticipate this magnitude," she admitted to a trusted ally. "But it's clear that honesty has consequences, and now we all have to face them." Masika, ever alert, ensured that each candid moment, each nuanced reaction, was recorded for posterity, capturing the raw intensity that would captivate audiences. Fans, if watching, would have been riveted by the ongoing drama, the shifting alliances, the emotional confrontations, and the high-stakes interplay of vulnerability and strategy. K. Michelle's confession, originally intended as a private release of tension, had become the catalyst for a series of explosive events that revealed the true character of each cast member. Masika's secret mic had transformed into an instrument of revelation, holding the power to reshape relationships and influence the trajectory of the season. As the night deepened, cast members faced difficult decisions about trust, loyalty, and confrontation. Some sought reconciliation, others plotted retribution, and all navigated a complex web of personal stakes, heightened by K. Michelle's unintentional disclosures. The family was visibly divided, with some members rallying together and others isolating themselves, uncertain of how to proceed. Every interaction was loaded with significance, each gesture interpreted through the lens of suspicion and emotion, and Masika's mic remained a silent witness to it all. Towards midnight, another pivotal moment occurred. K. Michelle confronted a group of cast members, privately, seeking clarity and resolution. "We can't keep dancing around the truth," she said, voice calm yet resolute. Every hidden word, every suppressed feeling knits, all contributing to this tension. "If we want to move forward, we need transparency." The cast, tense and uncertain, exchanged glances. Some nodded reluctantly, others bristled. But the conversation marked a significant turning point. The acknowledgement that hiding from reality was no longer an option. The late-night discussion prompted further emotional releases. Cast members shared long-suppressed feelings, revealing insecurities, fears, and past betrayals. Tears flowed, voices cracked, and for a brief moment, the room was united in raw human vulnerability. Masika's mic captured every whispered confession, every emotional pause, and every gasp, preserving the authenticity and intensity of the moment for viewers who would be glued to every second. As the first light of dawn crept in, exhaustion and tension combined to create a fragile calm. Cast members, emotionally drained, retreated to separate rooms, reflecting on the events of the past day. K. Michelle, aware of the impact her confession had, recognized the delicate balance now in play. Relationships were strained, trust was fragile, and the next move by any cast member could tip the scales further. Masika, still alert, ensured that every lingering conversation and subtle interaction was recorded, cementing the night's drama as a defining moment of the season. The ripple effects of K. Michelle's confession continued to resonate throughout the following day. Cast members navigated a landscape of suspicion, emotional vulnerability, and strategic decision-making. Alliances solidified and fractured in real time, each conversation and glance laden with meaning. Masika's secret mic, capturing everything, had become the linchpin of an unfolding narrative that was as emotionally compelling as it was unpredictable, drawing viewers deeper into the complex world of human drama and revelation. So, what do you think about everything that just unfolded? Fans are absolutely shocked by the sheer intensity of the drama, the raw emotions, and the secrets that have finally come to light. K. Michelle's late-night confession, accidentally caught by Masika's secret mic, has changed everything. It has set off a domino effect, revealing hidden alliances, betrayals, and vulnerabilities that no one expected. Emotions ran high, voices were raised, and loyalties were tested like never before. Every glance, every whispered conversation, every heated confrontation now carries a weight that fans are desperate to unpack. You've seen how the family was left divided, how trust is fractured, and how even the most seemingly minor words can trigger explosive confrontations. The way K. Michelle stood her ground, speaking her truth despite the backlash, shows a side of her that's rarely seen, raw, honest, and unapologetically human. Masika, ever the silent observer with her secret mic, captured it all, and that recording has become the catalyst for the chaos that keeps everyone on edge. Viewers can't help but feel the tension, almost as if they're part of the room, feeling every accusation, every tear, and every defensive retort firsthand. Now it's your turn. What do you think really went down in those moments? Do you side with K. Michelle, seeing her confession as a courageous act of honesty? Or do you think she set off a chain reaction that could have been avoided? Maybe you're watching the cast members scramble, shift alliances, and try to protect themselves while processing the fallout. Fans everywhere are debating who will emerge as the most strategic, who will crack under pressure, and who might find a way to turn the chaos to their advantage. Every reaction matters, and your opinion adds to the conversation. This story is far from over. There are unresolved tensions, unspoken grudges, and potential confrontations that are just waiting to explode. Alliances may shift again, secrets may surface even further, and the emotional stakes will only continue to rise. What happens next is anyone's guess, and that's the thrill that keeps viewers glued to their screens. Every move, every word, every glance could be a game changer. The drama is ongoing, unpredictable, and absolutely captivating. So here's what you need to do. Dive into the comments and let us know your take. Who do you think is playing the smartest game? Whose reactions shocked you the most? And what do you think will happen in the next confrontation? Your insights, theories, and opinions matter because this story is alive, and the conversation around it is just as thrilling as the drama itself. Fans are already sharing their hot takes, and we want you to be part of the discussion. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying the roller coaster of emotions, chaos, and revelations. It's a small action that tells us you want more, that you're invested in seeing how every secret unfolds. Every alliance shifts, and every confrontation escalates. Subscribing ensures you don't miss a single moment of this explosive drama. New episodes, new twists, and new shocking revelations are just around the corner. And you'll want to be the first to know every time a bombshell drops. Make sure to turn on notifications too, so every shocking moment, every whispered confession, and every unexpected twist lands right in your feed. The drama is fast-moving, unpredictable, and full of moments that will have you talking for days. From Michelle's bold confessions to the cast members' emotional breakdowns, every second is worth watching, analyzing, and reacting to. This is more than just reality TV, it's an emotional roller coaster, and you're at the front of the ride. Engage with your fellow fans, discuss theories, debate reactions, and share your predictions. Will Michelle's honesty ultimately unite or further divide the cast? Who is secretly manipulating behind the scenes, and who will rise above the chaos? Your opinions fuel the discussion and make this story even more engaging. Reality TV thrives on fan interaction, and your voice adds depth to the drama, bringing it to life in ways the cameras alone cannot capture. Remember, this isn't just entertainment tits, a look into the raw, unfiltered complexities of human emotion, trust, and confrontation. Every tear, every angry shout, every whispered secret is a piece of a puzzle that viewers like you are helping to interpret. Your participation matters, your reactions matter, and your theories matter. This is a story that evolves with each episode, and your engagement keeps the energy alive, the suspense high, and the conversation buzzing. So comment below, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Share this video with friends who need to see the drama unfold, who need to weigh in on who is right, who is wrong, and who might just come out on top. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided, but your insights, predictions, and engagement can help make sense of it all. Don't miss a single revelation. Be part of the conversation, because this is only the beginning, and the story is far from over. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep watching. Masika's secret mic captured what no one expected. Michelle's confessions rocked the house, and the fallout is still unfolding. Your reactions, your opinions, and your voice are part of this story. Dive in, share your thoughts, and be ready for the next shocking moment that will leave fans even more stunned. The drama continues, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Every opinion counts, every prediction matters, and every reaction adds to the story. The secrets, the confrontations, and the explosive moments are just getting started. Be part of it, weigh in, and prepare for more shocking revelations that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The story of Michelle, Masika, and the cast is far from over, and you are invited to witness every moment, every twist, and every emotional eruption. Your voice is essential in this discussion. Comment below with your thoughts. Who do you trust? Who do you suspect? And what do you think will happen next? Join the conversation, engage with other fans, and immerse yourself fully in the drama. The intensity of Michelle's confession, captured by Masika's secret mic, has created a ripple effect that continues to captivate and surprise. Your participation keeps the momentum alive, making every moment even more thrilling. Like, subscribe, and comment because the drama isn't just unfolding on screen. It's unfolding in this community of fans, and your voice is part of the story. Stay tuned for the next explosive chapter, where secrets will surface, emotions will run higher than ever, and the stakes will continue to escalate. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided, but your engagement ensures that you're at the center of it all, witnessing every revelation, every confrontation, and every dramatic twist in real time. This is your chance to be part of the drama, to weigh in, and to experience every shocking moment firsthand. Don't miss out. Comment below, share your theories, and join the conversation because the story of Masika and the cast is only getting started, and you won't want to miss a second of the chaos, the emotion, and the jaw-dropping revelations to come. Stay gentle. Stay wise. You matter more than you know.